Managing diabetes effectively involves making careful choices about diet, and beverages are certainly no exception. While vegetable juices might seem like a healthy option, some can actually cause dangerous spikes in blood sugar levels. So today, we're going to guide you through 5 vegetable juices that individuals with diabetes should ideally avoid. We'll explain why they pose a risk and offer some insights into safer juicing practices for better health management. Top 5. Vegetable juices diabetics should never drink. Number 1. Carrot juice. Carrot juice is often praised for its rich nutritional profile, as it's packed with beta-carotene, vitamins, and antioxidants. And yes, carrots themselves are a healthy vegetable. However, it's important to know that when carrots are juiced, their natural sugars become highly concentrated, and the beneficial fiber is largely removed. This transformation is crucial for individuals with diabetes to understand because it significantly alters how the body processes the vegetable. While it does provide vitamins like A and K, the form in which these nutrients are delivered really matters immensely for blood sugar control. Now, the primary concern with carrot juice for diabetics is its relatively high carbohydrate content, which comes predominantly from sugars. When you drink carrot juice, these carbohydrates are rapidly absorbed into the bloodstream. Why? Because the fiber that would typically slow down digestion is missing. This quick absorption can lead to a sharp increase in blood glucose levels, which is particularly problematic for those managing diabetes. It might surprise you that a single cup of carrot juice can contain a significant amount of sugar, often comparable to some fruit juices, making it a less than ideal choice for maintaining stable blood sugar. If we compare the glycemic index or GI of carrot juice to whole carrots or even other vegetables, it really highlights the issue. You see, whole carrots have a lower GI because their fiber content slows down that sugar release. Carrot juice, on the other hand, has a higher GI. For instance, while steamed carrots have a GI of around 39, carrot juice can have a GI closer to 45 to 50, or even higher depending on how it's prepared and the quantity. This places it in the medium GI category. To give you some perspective, vegetables like spinach or celery, when juiced, have a much lower glycemic impact, making them safer alternatives. Research into diabetes management consistently emphasizes the importance of portion control and really understanding the carbohydrate load of foods and beverages. Studies that focus on diabetics and carbohydrate intake often highlight that even healthy foods in concentrated forms, like juice, can disrupt glucose control if not consumed with extreme caution. For carrot juice, the recommended portion size for a diabetic, if they choose to consume it at all, would have to be very small, perhaps just a few ounces. And ideally, it should be paired with protein or fat to help mitigate its glycemic impact. However, the temptation to drink a full glass can easily lead to an excessive intake of sugar and carbohydrates. Ultimately, while moderation is a common piece of advice, it just may not be sufficient for certain individuals with diabetes, especially those with more sensitive glucose responses or those who are struggling to maintain tight control. For these individuals, the risk of a significant blood sugar spike from carrot juice unfortunately outweighs the nutritional benefits, particularly when those nutrients can be obtained from whole carrots or other lower glycemic vegetables without that associated sugar rush. Therefore, for many people managing diabetes, carrot juice is a beverage that's best left off the menu to ensure more stable and predictable blood sugar levels. Number 2, beetroot juice. Beetroot juice has certainly gained popularity for its potential health benefits, such as improving blood flow and athletic performance, and that's mainly due to its nitrate content. However, For individuals managing diabetes, beetroot juice presents a significant challenge because of its natural sugar concentration. You see, beets are naturally sweet, and when they're juiced, these sugars become highly concentrated and readily available, much like we saw with carrot juice. The glycemic index of beetroot juice can be moderate to high, which means it can cause a relatively quick and significant rise in blood sugar levels after you drink it. The process of juicing vegetables, including beetroots, fundamentally changes how your body absorbs their sugars. Juicing removes most of the dietary fiber, and fiber plays such a crucial role in slowing down the digestion and absorption of sugar into the bloodstream. Without this fiber, the sugars in beetroot juice are absorbed very rapidly. This rapid absorption is precisely what can be dangerous for someone with diabetes, as their body either doesn't produce enough insulin or can't use insulin effectively to manage that sudden influx of glucose, potentially leading to hyperglycemia. A fast elevation in blood sugar is particularly risky for diabetics. Repeated spikes in blood glucose can contribute to long-term complications of diabetes, things like nerve damage, kidney disease, and cardiovascular problems. What's more, these rapid increases can also lead to subsequent crashes in blood sugar, causing symptoms like dizziness, confusion, and fatigue. Maintaining stable blood sugar levels is truly a cornerstone of diabetes management, and beverages that cause such volatility are generally advised against. Beetroot juice, due to its concentrated sugar and lack of fiber, unfortunately falls into this category for many. When considering beetroot juice, portion sizes are absolutely critical, yet they're often underestimated. A typical serving of juice is often around 8 ounces, which is about 240 milliliters, and this can contain a substantial amount of sugar from the beets. This hidden sugar content can easily derail an otherwise well-managed diabetes diet plan. Even if it's marketed as healthy or natural, the sugar in beetroot juice acts similarly to other sugars once it's in your bloodstream. So it's essential for diabetics to read labels carefully or be aware of the natural sugar content if they're juicing at home, and to understand that even a small glass can contribute significantly to their daily carbohydrate intake. For most, it's a beverage to approach with extreme caution, or perhaps avoid entirely. Number 3, pumpkin juice. Pumpkin is a highly nutritious vegetable, no doubt about it. It's rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, especially when you eat it whole. However, when pumpkin is juiced, its carbohydrate density increases significantly. And just like with other vegetables we've discussed, the beneficial fiber is largely removed. Now, the nutrient profile of pumpkin juice will still reflect some of the vitamins present in whole pumpkin, such as beta-carotene, but the crucial difference lies in the concentration of sugars and the speed of their absorption. This can be quite problematic for blood glucose control in individuals with diabetes. The glycemic load, or GL, of pumpkin juice is a key concern for individuals with diabetes. You see, glycemic load considers both the glycemic index of a food and the amount of carbohydrate in a serving. Juiced pumpkin, with its concentrated sugars and lack of fiber, will have a higher glycemic load than whole-cooked pumpkin. This means it has a greater potential to cause a rapid and significant spike in blood glucose levels. For someone managing diabetes, foods and drinks with a high glycemic load are generally discouraged because they make blood sugar control more challenging and can contribute to the risk of hyperglycemic episodes. Comparing juiced pumpkin to eating whole pumpkin really starkly illustrates the importance of fiber. When you eat whole pumpkin, whether it's steamed, baked, or pureed, the fiber that's present slows down the digestion process. This means that the natural sugars in the pumpkin are released more gradually into your bloodstream, preventing a sudden surge in blood glucose. Juicing, by removing this fiber, essentially eliminates this natural braking mechanism. So, the sugars from pumpkin juice are absorbed much more quickly, leading to those undesirable blood sugar spikes that people with diabetes strive to avoid for effective management of their condition. While documented case examples specifically focusing on pumpkin juice and diabetes might be less common in mainstream research compared to more widely consumed juices, the principle remains consistent with how other starchy or sweet vegetable juices affect blood sugar. Anecdotally, individuals with diabetes who experiment with various vegetable juices often report significant glucose elevations after consuming juices from sweeter or starchier vegetables like pumpkin, especially when they're consumed in typical beverage serving sizes. These personal experiences often reinforce the dietary advice to prioritize whole vegetables over their juiced counterparts for better glycemic control and overall health management in diabetes. Number 4, sweet corn juice. Sweet corn, which many of us enjoy for its naturally sweet taste, is also quite starchy. Now, when sweet corn is juiced, these starches are broken down, and its sugars become highly concentrated. The process of juicing essentially pre-processes the corn, making its carbohydrate content more readily available for absorption. This conversion results in a beverage that, despite originating from a vegetable, can act much like a sugary drink in terms of its impact on blood sugar levels. This poses a considerable risk for individuals with diabetes who need to manage their carbohydrate intake very carefully. A significant issue with sweet corn juice is the rapid rate of absorption of its sugars, and this is primarily due to the almost complete absence of fiber in its juiced form. You see, whole corn contains dietary fiber, which plays a vital role in slowing down digestion and the release of glucose into the bloodstream. When corn is juiced, this protective fiber is removed. Consequently, the sugars from the juice enter the bloodstream very quickly, leading to a sharp and potentially dangerous spike in blood glucose levels. This rapid influx of sugar can overwhelm the body's ability to manage glucose, especially in individuals with impaired insulin function or insulin resistance. The effects of consuming sweet corn juice on blood sugar management can be quite detrimental for diabetics. Consistent spikes in blood glucose can make it difficult to maintain target blood sugar ranges. This, in turn, increases the risk of both short-term symptoms like fatigue and thirst, and long-term diabetic complications such as neuropathy, retinopathy, and cardiovascular disease. Managing diabetes effectively often involves choosing foods and beverages that promote stable blood sugar levels. Sweet corn juice, with its high sugar content and rapid absorption rate, unfortunately works against this goal, making it an unsuitable choice for most people with diabetes. Health authorities and diabetes organizations consistently warn against sugary beverages and those that can cause rapid blood sugar increases. While specific warnings about sweet corn juice might be less common than those for sodas or fruit juices, the principles still apply. The advice generally emphasizes consuming non-starchy vegetables in their whole form. Juices derived from starchy vegetables like sweet corn, which lack fiber and concentrate sugars, fall into the category of beverages that should be avoided or severely limited by individuals aiming for optimal diabetes control. This aligns with broader recommendations to prioritize nutrient-dense, fiber-rich foods. Number 5, pea juice. Peas, particularly sweet peas, contain natural sugars and starches. When these are juiced, the concentration of these carbohydrates becomes a significant concern for individuals with diabetes. While whole peas offer nutritional benefits, including some protein and fiber, The juicing process strips away much of the fiber. This leaves behind a liquid that is surprisingly high in sugar. This can lead to an unexpectedly rapid increase in blood glucose levels, which is, of course, counterproductive for anyone trying to manage diabetes effectively through their diet. One of the major drawbacks of pea juice when compared to consuming whole peas is the substantial loss of protein and, crucially, fiber. Whole peas provide a modest amount of plant-based protein and a good dose of dietary fiber, both of which are beneficial for blood sugar control. Fiber, as we know, slows sugar absorption, and protein can also help moderate the blood glucose response. Pea juice, however, is primarily concentrated carbohydrate, with very little of the original fiber or protein retained. This lack of buffering elements means the sugars in pea juice are absorbed quickly and efficiently into the bloodstream. The reason pea juice can unexpectedly spike blood glucose lies in this combination of concentrated sugars and the absence of moderating nutrients like fiber and protein. Many people might perceive vegetable juices as inherently healthy, but the reality for certain vegetables like peas, especially the sweeter varieties, is that their juice can behave much like a sugary drink. For a person with diabetes, whose system for managing blood sugar is already compromised, such a rapid influx of sugar can easily lead to hyperglycemia and make long-term glucose management more challenging. For diabetics who might be craving sweet-tasting juices but really need to avoid those blood sugar spikes, there are definitely safer alternatives. Juices made from very low-carbohydrate, non-starchy vegetables such as cucumber, celery, spinach, and kale are much better options. These can be flavored with a small amount of lemon or lime, or even a few berries, which have a lower glycemic impact than concentrated sweet vegetable juices. These alternatives provide hydration and some nutrients without the significant carbohydrate load and subsequent risk to blood sugar control that's posed by juices like pea juice. Safer vegetable juice options for diabetics. For individuals managing diabetes, choosing the right vegetables for juicing is absolutely paramount to avoid undesirable blood sugar spikes. It's best to opt for vegetables that are naturally low in carbohydrates and have a minimal glycemic impact. Excellent choices include cucumber, which is highly hydrating and very low in sugar. Spinach and kale are leafy greens packed with nutrients, but also low in carbs, making them ideal for juicing. Celery is another great option, offering a subtle flavor and very few carbohydrates. These vegetables can form the base of a really diabetes-friendly juice. To further enhance the safety and nutritional value of your vegetable juice, you might consider balancing it with a source of protein or healthy fat, or by ensuring some fiber is retained or added back. For example, blending a small amount of avocado into your green juice can add creaminess and healthy fats, which helps slow down sugar absorption. Alternatively, consuming your juice alongside a protein-rich snack, like a handful of nuts or a piece of cheese, can also help mitigate any potential rise in blood sugar. It's also worth noting that some blenders retain more pulp, which is preferable to traditional juicers that extract nearly all fiber. General juicing tips for people with diabetes. It's truly crucial to monitor your blood sugar levels closely when introducing any new juice into your diet, even those made from low glycemic vegetables. Each individual with diabetes can react differently, so checking your glucose before and about 1 to 2 hours after trying a new juice will provide valuable information on how it personally affects you. This practice really empowers you to make informed decisions about what you can safely include in your eating plan. While carefully chosen vegetable juices can be part of a diabetic diet in moderation, it's generally preferable to consume whole vegetables. Whole vegetables provide the maximum amount of fiber, which is essential for slowing sugar absorption, promoting satiety, and supporting digestive health. Juicing, as we've discussed, removes most of this beneficial fiber. Therefore, it's a good idea to prioritize eating your vegetables and use juices sparingly, perhaps as a supplement rather than a replacement for whole foods. If you do choose to include vegetable juices, portion size and frequency are key. Keep serving small, around 4 to 6 ounces, or 120 to 180 milliliters, is often a sensible limit rather than a large glass. Also, try to avoid drinking juices on an empty stomach. Having them with a meal that contains protein and fiber can help buffer their impact on blood sugar. Most importantly, listen to your body and your glucose meter, and always consult with your healthcare provider or a registered dietitian for personalized advice on juicing with diabetes. Navigating beverage choices is a critical aspect of diabetes management. Choosing the wrong vegetable juices can inadvertently undermine your efforts by causing unhealthy spikes in blood sugar. By understanding which juices to avoid, such as those high in natural sugars and low in fiber, and instead opting for low glycemic vegetable juices in moderation, you can better support stable glucose levels and contribute positively to your overall health and well-being. If you found this discussion helpful in understanding juicing for diabetes, please consider sharing it with friends and family who might also benefit. We encourage you to subscribe for more nutrition tips tailored for diabetes management. And we invite you to join the discussion by leaving your experiences, questions, or perhaps your favorite diabetes-friendly juice recipes in the comments section below.